Hey guys, looking for new Wargames to play in 2025? Then you've come to the right place. We've already started the list with Kingmakers, a sandbox war and strategy game that takes you back in time to a medieval era at war, with a vast arsenal of modern weapons. You need to change the course of history and save the future in this epic action and strategy game. You are the last hope in a dying world. Travel 500 years into the past, to medieval England, to change the course of a bloody war and, if you're lucky, avoid the apocalypse. The game features massive real-time simulated battles where each soldier is controlled by a multitasking AI that manages decisions, loyalty, and movement. There are also construction elements such as building kingdoms, fortresses, and managing resources.
If he's not on the throne, it's over. Forever.
The new Delta Force is a remake of the classic first-person shooter that promises to bring back the action and adrenaline that marked the original series. The game is being developed by Garena and is being built with the Unreal Engine, which guarantees high-quality graphics and an immersive experience. The new Delta Force promises to revive the classic experience of the original game, with a focus on tactical combat and cinematic action. The game will feature remastered classic maps, such as the city of Mogadishu, and new missions that promise to take players to the heart of the action. Since the open beta on PC, the game has received mixed reviews. Multiplayer modes have been praised for their fun and scale. Delta Force seeks to compete with giants like Call of Duty and Battlefield, offering a free alternative with a focus on tactical gameplay and cross-platform accessibility.
Sergeant! I need extra security on these trucks! Go, go, go! Keep moving! Going down, Steve, going down! I repeat, Super 6-1, going down! We got a Black Hawk down. We got a Black Hawk down. All personnel, proceed to the crash site immediately for rescue.
The game titled 83 is a project in development that has generated anticipation among fans of military-themed first-person shooters. The game is being developed by Blue Dot Games, a team composed of industry veterans who worked on renowned titles such as Red Orchestra, Rising Storm, and Squad. These games are known for their realistic and tactical approach to the FPS genre, suggesting that 83 will follow a similar line, but with a unique twist. The premise of the game is to place players in a hypothetical conflict of the 1980s, where Cold War tensions evolve into a direct armed confrontation between Western and Eastern Bloc forces. It promises intense combat with weapons and equipment characteristic of the era, such as tanks, rifles, and military technology from the 1980s.
There are multiple objectives you and your squad need to swiftly capture to gain control over this strategic location. The choices your squad makes when capturing objectives matter. Teamwork, effective use of vehicles and equipment, or well-timed fire missions can all provide the necessary tactical advantage which to win the battle. Nanking 3 is currently in development, and we aim to launch it on Steam Early Access within 1 to 2
Shanghai, Nanking is an expansion for the large-scale World War II tactical shooter game, Easy Red 2, which will be released as a DLC. The expansion portrays the crucial period of the Japanese invasion of China, shortly before World War II. Players will be challenged to fight in the streets of Shanghai and Nanking, defending China against Japanese imperialist aggression. The conflict between China and Japan, known as the Second Sino-Japanese War, lasted from 1937 to 1945 and was one of the bloodiest in history. The expansion features new maps, including the bustling streets of Shanghai and the walls of Nanking, providing a visually impressive and immersive environment. The expansion features new maps, including the bustling streets of Shanghai and the walls of Nanking, providing a visually impressive and immersive environment. Over-the-top WW1 transports players to the muddy and chaotic battlefields of World War I, allowing them to relive the conflict as members of the Central Powers or the Triple Entente. The game emphasizes historical realism combined with dynamic mechanics, including fully destructible environments, realistic projectile physics, and a vast range of weapons and vehicles from the era. The scenarios can be completely altered by explosions, artillery, and player actions. Bridges, trees, buildings, and fortifications can be destroyed, and the terrain is deformable, allowing the creation of craters and trenches with explosives or tools such as shovels and picks. The main focus is on 100 versus 100 battles, with up to 200 participants in total. There is also the campaign mode, introduced in recent playtests, where teams compete to capture and hold territories, adding a strategic layer to combat. Glory to the Heroes is a game in development by Space Dev Games, a young Ukrainian independent company focused on military themes. It is a first-person tactical shooter that addresses the Russo-Ukrainian War, offering an immersive experience in both single-player and multiplayer PvPvE, player versus player, and environment. The game is set in real locations of battles from the Russo-Ukrainian War, recreated with precision using height map data and photogrammetry. Inspired by real stories from the conflict, Glory to the Heroes seeks to portray the brutality and horrors of modern warfare, putting the player in the role of an ordinary soldier, not a special forces operator. Multiplayer matches can support up to 100 players, divided into teams with commanders coordinating strategies. Open maps allow for tactical combat against enemy strongholds. Projekt Z Beyond Order is a cooperative zombie survival first-person shooter set in World War II on a secret German island. The game revolves around the threat of Projekt Z, a clandestine program run by the Nazis to transform zombies, discovered on the island previously, into weapons to help turn the tide of the war in favor of Nazi Germany. Projekt Z Beyond Order offers a first-person shooter experience with a focus on fast-paced action and zombie combat. The game features a robust character progression system, allowing you to customize your survivors with different skills and weapons. You can choose from 4 characters, each with their own special abilities, devastating weapons, and distinct roles in cooperative mode. Trench Tales is a third-person action game with a focus on story, set in a dark, alternate world between World War I and World War II. The game combines elements of survival and horror games with a new approach to the horror genre, mixing action sequences and suspenseful moments. The game's narrative is deep and full of twists, keeping players constantly engaged. You are summoned to this desolate realm by enigmatic forces, with a mission shrouded in secrecy. Your goal is to unravel the mystery of your summons, confront the malevolent powers that brought you here, and finally find a way back to your world. Trench Tales takes place in an alternate reality during World War I, where players traverse enchanting landscapes that elegantly combine Gothic architecture with the harsh realities of wartime devastation. The Defiant is a highly anticipated first-person shooter in development by a Chinese company called Huthanes. It has generated great anticipation, especially after the resounding success of Black Myth Wukong, another Chinese title that conquered the global market in 2024. The game is set during the Second Sino-Japanese War, 1937-1945, a brutal conflict between China and Japan that is part of the Asian theater of World War II. This is a historical period rarely explored in FPS games, which gives the title a unique appeal. The game is described as a tribute to the memory of those who fought for the liberation of China, suggesting a narrative with emotional and historical weight. The Defiant is often compared to genre giants like Call of Duty and Battlefield, with the ambition to compete directly with these titles in the global market. The focus on a strong narrative campaign could be a differentiator from competitors, who often prioritize online modes. Medic. Pacific War is a military medic simulation game set in World War II with a focus on the Pacific Front. The game puts the player in the role of an American field medic serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, caring for wounded soldiers amidst the chaos of combat. The game promises an immersive and realistic experience, with a focus on medical simulation and the difficult decisions that field medics faced. The player will have to make quick and strategic decisions to save lives, using the limited resources available amidst enemy fire and bombings. Medic Pacific War differs from other war games by not focusing on direct action. The player is not equipped to fight, but rather to save lives. The focus is on providing first aid to wounded soldiers on the spot, and in more serious cases, transporting them to the field hospital, avoiding enemy fire. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.